As I continue to do more research into Stephen Avery's case, Brendan Dassey's case, and the Making a Murderer documentary series, I keep finding old news stories that are either interesting or strange, or at the very least entertaining. Like yesterday's video that I posted was completely bizarre. The guy was like, Stephen Avery told me he did it. No, wait. There's a $100,000 reward for the person for information on the person that did it. It was me. I did it. Can I have that $100,000 now? Like, how strange is that? Man, if you haven't seen that, go watch yesterday's video. Just completely weird. Now, this one it's from globalnews.ca, which I will link in the description below so you can go have a read for yourself. But it states, ex-detective says Stephen Avery was framed serial killer responsible for Teresa Halbach's death. Now, this story is quite old, from February 3rd, 2016. Over 5 years ago. So that would have been just after Making a Murderer came out, correct? Right around that time. Goes on to state, Making a Murderer subject Stephen Avery was framed, and not just by Wisconsin police, claims ex-FBI cold case expert John Cameron. He asserts that the 2005 murder of 25-year-old photographer Teresa Halbach has all the earmarks of infamous serial killer Edward Wayne Edwards. If you're Edward Wayne Edwards' parents, why are you giving him the same first name as his last name? That's just mean. Avery, who's trying to get a retrial, has filed multiple appeals against his murder conviction, recently secured a new lawyer, Kathleen Zellner. Zellner, too, has been trying to amass as much evidence as possible to help her client go free. She is featured more in Making a Murderer Season 2, if you are not familiar with the case. Over 400,000 people have signed online petition to see Avery freed or pardoned. In an interview with Cameron conducted by Radar Online, Cameron agrees with Avery, believing he was framed by the serial killer Edwards. Stephen Avery is completely innocent, said Cameron. He was set up by Edwards. Cameron brings up several bits of evidence, and even though it's mostly circumstantial, it's an interesting new theory that neither the police or Making a Murderer touched upon. I wonder how much this was actually looked at back in the day. For one, Edwards lived 1 hour away from the Avery's Wisconsin property in 2005, where the alleged murder of Halbach took place. That's very interesting. The murder, which ended with Halbach's charred, nearly unrecognizable remains in a fire pit on Avery's property, mirrors one of Edwards' killing. Interesting. Edwards had done exactly the same thing in California in 1955 when he kidnapped and murdered a doctor's 14-year-old daughter named Stephanie Bryan. He hid her body for 3 months and then planted the girl's property in a man named Burton Abbott's basement and in his garage. Abbott was convicted on circumstantial evidence, but always protested that he was framed. He was executed at San Quentin minutes before a stay of execution was delivered. Whoa, wait. So this guy framed another guy, and that guy got executed? Holy crap. That's crazy. That's insane. Abbott was convicted on circumstantial evidence, but always protested that he was framed. He was executed at San Quentin minutes before a stay of execution delivered. Man, wow, that's insane. I said in yesterday's video that there are so many twists and turns in this case that you wouldn't believe it even if it was made into a movie. This is just another one of those things. Even though it's only loosely associated with it, it still could be part of the story. Wow. That's crazy. Edwards was convicted of 5 murders and sentenced to death in March 2011. but he died of natural causes on death row just weeks later. He is suspected of many more murders, and he hinted on several occasions that he had other victims that the police never discovered. I gotta look up this guy and maybe do a video or two on him. That I have never heard that story before. That's crazy to me. And another potential coincidence, Cameron says a figure appears behind Wisconsin prosecutor Ken Kratz in episode 6 of Making a Murderer, and it's Edwards. What? It looks like Edwards to me, said Cameron, who added that it was common for Edwards to show up at funerals and court hearings during his high-profile murder cases. He got off on that, he added. This story is bonkers. Holy wow. And perhaps the most shocking new... I'm on episode 5. My next looking back is episode 5, so I'm almost episode 6. I'm going to have to pay real close attention to that. And perhaps the most shocking new evidence from the former cop, Cameron claims that an anonymous note was sent to Wisconsin investigators working on Avery's case, which is also something Edwards was known to do. It contained information only the killer could know, said Cameron. The letter is referred to as cryptic by the judge and contained specific details of how Teresa was killed and burned in a smelter. This letter was handwritten like Edwards' writing, and I believe it came from Edwards. Ultimately, the letter was discarded by the courts. Just wow. So there's a little bit more there, and you can go read that for yourself. That's insane. I can't believe. How did they tie that? Man, I gotta do some more research into this guy. What was his name? Edward Wayne Edwards. I don't know, man. That's super strange. But yeah, so that's another old Making a Murderer story. Like I said, I want to bring all of the old articles out so that everybody has the information. No, I mean, most of them, like this one, just seems so unbelievable that you just never know. There are so many twists and turns in this case. It's almost... If this was reality TV, you'd be like, nah, this isn't real. It's just crazy, man. Just crazy. But yeah, so I'm working on episode 5 right now of my looking back, the Making a Murderer documentary. I hope everybody out there is having a good day, and I'll see you guys all again soon.